Hi everyone, and welcome to Regina Library. In the previous video, we explained how the 5W's 1H method works. Now, we're going to put it into action with some examples. We'll use the topic of the Elgin marbles, sculptures that were taken from the Parthenon in Greece and are now housed in the British Museum in London. Our research topic is whether Britain should return the marbles to Greece, an area of contention on both sides. Now remember, for the purposes of this video, we're not looking to answer the question, just to find good sources so we can get more background on the topic and then formulate our argument. We're going to use a couple examples from a web search in this video. Just keep in mind, while we're going to focus on articles today, these criteria can be applied to any format, from books and videos to magazines and images. For our first example, I'm going to look at a blog post that shows up on my first page of web results. It's called The History of the Elgin Marbles, Past, Present, and Future. Now, at first glance, this looks promising. It's posted by a college professor, and when I do a search for her name and institution, she's listed on the university's website. She holds a doctorate degree in art history and teaches courses on ancient art, so she would be qualified to offer her expertise on this topic. However, on a closer look, this post wasn't actually authored by her at all. I'm suspecting this might be one of the student honors essays mentioned over on the left-hand side of the page. And when I click on the 2004 link, that's confirmed. So even though this appears to be a well-researched paper whose author cites their sources, they're still not qualified as a college student themselves. Even without going into detail on the other criteria, I can automatically rule out this source based on who wrote it. For our second web source, I'm going to look at 8 facts about the Elgin marbles, posted on History Extra. I'm not familiar with this source, but at the top of the page, I see that it's affiliated with the BBC. I can check the media bias chart on our Evaluating Information page and see that the BBC is a reputable news source that's fairly neutral and does its own original reporting. There's no author listed, but I can treat this as a corporate author if I decide to use it. Now that we've explored the who and the where, let's move on to the rest of the questions. As for why this source was created, while there's a button to subscribe up top, I don't think its purpose is so much to sell as to inform. And even though there are persuasive viewpoints, both sides of the argument are included. For the when, there's a date of June 6, 2018 up top, and at the bottom there's a note saying it was originally published in print in 2015. That means they've made updates to the online version to keep it current, which is a good thing. Looking at the sources they used for our what question, every bullet point has an attribution of some sort, whether it's in link form or in the text. They linked to the British Museum website numerous times, as well as government documents and an art critic and member of Parliament's interviews with the BBC. This might be a case where it would be more beneficial to cite those original sources instead, especially because under the last criteria, how, it's debatable whether this list of bullet points actually goes into enough depth to use it for a college paper. As you can see, even after going through these questions, it can still be difficult sometimes to decide whether something is appropriate for college-level research. The process can be very subjective, or based on your own personal views, experience, or background. That's why, if you're ever still in doubt, it can help to check in with your professor and see if they would consider your source a strong enough one for you to use. Thanks for watching this video with some examples from around the web.